Shalom, called Law Yahweh Shem Shai. Double honors to my teachers, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh Shem Shai, Barakatham to the hopefully elect. Just back with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Salakia, if I sound, kind of like I'm rushing this, I'm a bit frustrated. I've been trying to do this, a video on this article for the past 2 days, and it's very aggravating, for whatever reason, man. As I've said before, this thing it malfunctions on me. I try to play this video because it pretty much sums it up, this article, instead of reading the whole article. This video pretty much sums it up, but I'll just read the title and then the subtitle, because that pretty much sets the tone for what this article goes into. It says the new device could help doctors explore capillaries and world first. And then the subtitle goes on to say the device could explore previously unreachable parts of the brain. All right, and like I said, I wanted to play the video, but for whatever reason, this doesn't work out that way. So I'm trying to go through this fairly quickly through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Lord's will, man, this thing goes through this time, but basically, this article, man, it just basically goes into this new device that they come up with that'll pretty much explore parts of the brain that have pretty much never really been touched before, through by man, so to say, and through their technology, and in the video that I wanted to play, and as well as some of this article goes into, because with Esau's technology, man, they are able to study a lot of these diseases and sicknesses and things of that nature. But with this new technology, this new device, all right, and I often put emphasis on that word device. A lot of these articles, they use this term device, all right, because it's going to be, according to the Revelation 13, where it talks about the mark of the beast, all right, the mark of the beast being the RFID microchip, which is an implantable device, something that they're physically going to put inside of the body. All right. So again, that's why I often stress that I put emphasis on that word a lot of times when they use that term device. All right. But basically, like I was saying, concerning a lot of these sicknesses and diseases and things of that nature, Esau, through his technology, is able to study these diseases and things of that nature. But with this new device, they're be able to, because what it goes into, let me make sure I'm still recording. Basically, this device, man, it'll be able to reach parts of the brain that has never been reachable before, and never been touched before. And with that being said, that means that basically it means that they'll be able to explore even, they'll be able to look into deeper into the brain, and study more of these sicknesses and diseases. Things, I believe in the video it mentioned things like seizures and stuff like that. Stuff that they really don't have answers for. So that's pretty much what this device, this new technology, that's pretty much what it'll be able to do. Lord's will, because I'm not going to read the whole article. And unfortunately, I can't play the video, but again, Lord's will, I remember to put the link in the description if you want to check it out. And Slaki, because I know I often say that Slaki is this video I wanted to play, but I'm not able to, but or I'm not going to attempt to play it. Yeah, like I was saying, Slaki, I know sometimes I mentioned that, I'll put the link in the description, and sometimes I forget, but Lord's will again, I remember this time. But basically, man, what I want to touch on in this video, because again, through the power of their technology, all right, because on the same note, speaking about Revelations, the 13th chapter, and speaking about the mark of the beast, all right, it's let me go ahead and go to it. In Revelations 13, because this all ties into the miracles that they're going to be able to perform, and this is how they're going to pretty much, get the mass majority of the people to, accept this mark and take this mark willingly. So let me get this to Revelation 13, and I'll start at verse 12. It says, and he, Revelation 13:12, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and it causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. All right, because again, as I often kind of break it down, America is nothing but an extension of the Roman Empire. All right, it's nothing but a regurgitation, um, because this time, like unlike the Roman Empire, they didn't have, they didn't have power over the whole earth. All right, but this beast, the this beast, and more so Esau, Edom. All right, this time, they have power over the whole earth. All right, um, and again, it's not but an extension of the Roman Empire. Talking about America. So reading on, it's verse 13. It says, "And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of the men." And how was he able to accomplish that? How was America pretty much able to establish itself as a world superpower? Through their technology. All right, because at one point in time, America was a world superpower. And they pretty much asserted the dominance once they dropped those bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. All right. That put fear, that pretty much put fear to all these other nations and whatnot, because they didn't have, they pretty much weren't matched on that level as America was during that time. All right. But the point being, how did they accomplish that? Through the power of their technology. Let me read on. It says, "And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they may make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live." So you see, because again, the point that I want to get into concerning those miracles. All right, and this is how they're going to deceive a mass majority of the people, because mass majority of the people, man, they're going to take that mark. All right, and that's what all roads lead to. And again, concerning this, concerning this new device and this technology and things of that nature. All right, because again, this is concerning the brain. All right, because also, let me read on. When you jump down to verse 16, it says, "And he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." So you see, these brain chips that they want to start coming out with, or they will start coming out with soon. All right, and again, because a lot of the stuff that they talk about, what these chips are able to do and what they're able to accomplish with this chip, man, giving sight to the blind, and curing all these diseases like Caesars, being able to explore these diseases and things of that nature. This is how they're going to deceive the mass majority of the people. All right, because being that this world, man, this place, man, this everyone's sick, man, and everyone's seeking salvation, man, and except seeking Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right, because he's the only one that has the power to give salvation. All right, these people, man, the mass majority of the people, man, they're going to seek salvation from Esau, Edom, which is so-called white man. And again, this is how they're going to deceive people through the power of their technology. Because again, this stuff, man, they're going to be able to perform miracles, but it's all going to be on the left hand. All right, because like the men of the Lord, the prophets, man, when the time comes that brothers get spiritual powers and things of that nature. It's going to be done on the right hand. All right. Healing the sick and bringing people back from the dead and things of that nature. All this stuff is going to be done on the right hand. But Esau, he tries to mimic that on the left hand through his technology. All right. So this is why, again, because in the very near future, man, you're going to start seeing them come out with these chips, man, and these microchips. All right. And that's going to be the form of spiritual power on the left hand. The stuff that they're going to be able to accomplish with it. And again, going back to reading back up the verse 14, it says, "And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles." So you see, this is how he's going to deceive a mass majority of the people, man. All right, because being that, these people, man, they put their trust in the system, they put their trust in the government, and Esau, Edom, they put their trust in the oppressors. All right, they put their trust in the ones causing all the damage and whatnot. And Esau, man, again, being that everyone's looking for salvation, all right, he's going to come out like a dark phoenix out of the ashes, man, and he's going to pretty much present the problem to all, the solution to all problems, man, and ultimately it's going to boil down to them once they come out with these microchips, which is the RFID chip. This is what it's talking about here in verse 16 and verse 17. Let me read verse 17. It says, "And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. But also what I want to focus on this video, I'm gonna read verse 18 because never really go into it. It's like it. Let me actually read the verse first. Verse 18, it says, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right, the 666. A lot of people are familiar with that. All right, but just to get a little deeper into it, like I said, I'm not gonna, try to get all, deep with it. Just try to keep it basic to my, to the best of my ability. Where it's the 666 or the Chi-xi-stigma, right?
Strong's G 5516. Chi-xi-stigma. Chi-xi-stigma.
All right, so you see the Chi-xi-stigma, right? Let me just see what the definition here says. I'm pretty sure it's off, but let me see what it says here. It says 666, the meaning of which is the basis of much vain speculation. Yeah, because, a lot of people do have a vain, speculation, man, but nevertheless, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, and, the wisdom, because that's what it says here, verse 18 again, it says, here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, and again, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, the Lord, gave that understanding, again, starting with the apostles and elders, and all the men down of Great Millstone, but basically, again, going into this a little bit, because when you look into this, right here, you see the marker right here where it says G5516, right here where I'm, where the marker is. If you look at the characteristics, all right, the chi, the psi, and the stigma, all right, the first letter, chi, being an X, all right, get into this a little bit. So that, again, because let me get this, the Greek alphabet, all right, when you look into the characteristics, because that's what it is, all right, it's the Greek alphabet, but the chi, where's it at, or the xi, or chi, slakia, all right, being an X, all right, again, being an X, and basically, again, being that Esau, Edom, they present themselves as the Most High, right? As the scriptures say, they present themselves as the most High. They are in the mindset of being godlike. They really do. The Lord set up to where these devils really do believe that they are the Most High power. They are the supreme being and the superior. All right, they really do think that they are the Most High. All right, that is their mindset. All right, because if you're paying attention, man, lately. And throughout the years, but as of lately, man, they've basically, man, they've been doing a lot of or trying to do away with a lot of the natural order of doing things. They've been trying to do away with it. All right, the natural order of what Yahweh Shem Shai has set up. All right, Esau, man, they're trying to do away with it. All right, they deem it not fit. They feel that we don't have to follow these laws and ordinances of Yahweh Shem Shai, and because they deem that their way of doing things, this is why they, again, over the years, man, they try to, basically push in their laws and their legislation. They basically, because just like on the right hand, you got the 10 Commandments, right? They, like I said, everything that's done on the right hand, they try to mimic it on the left hand. All right, so on the left hand, you got something called the Georgia Guidestones, all right, which is basically their set of laws, their way of doing things, all right, because basically they try to, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to set up their laws, statutes, and commandments, all right. They're trying to do away with the sun. All right, there's articles that have coming out about how I believe it's Bill Gates is trying to basically block out the rays from the sun, and all type of madness. All right, do away with all the ordinances of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, that's what they're trying to do, because again, they perceive themselves to be the Most High. All right, so going back to this, all right, because the Chi, which is an X again, or it resembles an X, all right. And basically, again, basically goes into them Xing out the Messiah, all right, you know, and with that, again, they try to X out the Messiah, all right. Where's that at? Um, Let me look for this real quick. I think it's in Revelations 11. That's what I'm looking for, if I'm not mistaken. Revelations 11. Let me try that real quick. Um, no, I don't think it's 11. Let me no, I don't think it's 11. It's on the tip of my tongue. Let me word search this real quick. Okay, it was in the same chapter. All right. Revelations 13, and I'll start at verse 5. It says, "And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth to blaspheme against the Most High, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven." All right. Um, and again, the point being that they try to blaspheme Yahweh Shem Shai. Like I said, they try to X out the Messiah, or they try to present themselves as being the superiors, or the supreme beings. They try to exalt themselves as the Most High, as the scriptures say. All right, so again, because they try to X out the Messiah, and do away with the natural order of things. Here it is, Yahweh Shem Shai has natural herbs and medicines and things of that nature, for to cure sicknesses and things of that nature. But Esau, they want to do away with that, and they want to bring in their medicines, their medications, and things of that nature. All right, and again, just a small example of how they try to do away with the ordinances of Yahweh Shem Shai. And they try to mimic it on the left hand in wickedness. All right, and present that as they try to present it as righteousness. All right, they try to present it like this is the way to go. All right. But going back to this, all right, because again, the first part being, that X, all right, they try to X out the Messiah. Go back to this, all right, and going back to the characteristics again, all right, the X, which is the X out the Messiah, and then the second characteristic, all right, if you look at the second characteristic, all right, it looks like I had it pulled up. Let me go back to this. The rod of Asclepius, if I said that right, all right. So you see how kind of it kind of resembles just a little bit, it kind of resembles the same thing as the Psi, right? Because if you look at it again, let's go back to it. If you look at it, all right, can't zoom in on it, but hopefully you can see it fairly well. All right, the middle part, right? It looks like a almost like a serpent, like a staff, almost like a serpent, And again, you go back to the rod of Asclepius, all right, and this is basically, this basically goes into the medical field, all right, you know, um, you just look at these images, all right, because again, everything that's done on the right hand is Esau mimics it on the left hand, all right, and I wanted to go into this history a little bit, all right, because this is where they when you go to Numbers 21st chapter. I'm trying to get to the point. Try to go through this fairly quickly. Get to the point. Revelation, Numbers 21:5. It says, "And the people spake against the Most High and against Moses. Wherefore have ye brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our soul loatheth this light bread." All right, because again, being that the Lord delivered Jake out of the wilderness, delivered them out of the hand of ancient Egypt. All right, and if man, during the time of the wilderness, man, Jake was just ungrateful as hell. Jake was talking shit. All right, and they actually reminisced and wanted to go back to Egypt, because they had it good, completely disrespectful to the Most High, and again, being that Jake was talking shit, man, the Lord, when you read on, it says, verse 6, it says, and Yahweh sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel died. So again, the Lord sent judgment, all right, and a lot of Jake ended up dying, all right, but I'll read on down. It says, therefore the people came to Moses and said, we have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and spake against thee. Pray unto the Lord that he take away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people. And the Lord said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent and set it upon a pole, and it shall come to pass that everyone that is bitten, when it looketh upon it, shall live. So you see, all right, that fiery serpent, all right, and set it upon a pole. All right, what does that look like? Let's go back to this. All right, the rod of Asclepius. All right, but this isn't the actual thing. All right, because like I said, everything that they do, man, they mimic it from the right hand, and they mimic it on the left hand in wickedness. All right, but let's go back to this real quick. So that fiery serpent, all right, and I'm going to read verse 8 again. It says, and the Lord said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent and set it upon a pole, and it shall come to pass that everyone that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. And Moses made a serpent of brass and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. So you see, all right. And from this, again, Moses set up this basically what you see here, all right. But it was done on the right hand. It was done in righteousness, all right. And this is where they get the concept from, all right, like the Red Cross and things of that nature, all right. The staff of Asclepius, or rod of Asclepius, all right. This is where they get the concept from, all right. When you read the history, go back to Numbers 21, all right. You read the history. This is where they get that concept from, all right. But again, the point being that again, because this all goes back to again, them Xing out the Messiah, all right, and bringing in their way of doing things, and even more so through their medical system, because again, that's pretty much how there's going to be when it comes to the mark of the beast. That's how it's going to be like instituted, all right. Let's go back to this. Slakia, let me go to this rod of Asclepius, right? But got that out the way. Going back to the Greek alphabet, the Greek letters. Now, when you go back to you had the Chi, right? The X, what's like here? The Chi, right? The X out the Messiah, right? And then you got the Psi, which looks like a serpent, all right? It looks like that serpent on the pole, all right? That staff of Asclepius, right? And again, this is more so going into their medical system, because this is how they're pretty much going to issue in their the mark, all right? Because again, when you go through the let's go through this real quick. And like I said, Slack, if I going through this fairly quickly, sure this thing's still recording, man. When you go back to I'm gonna read Revelations 13. Well, I'm not gonna read it, but Revelations 13, all right, and I'm go to this word, the mark, right? The charagma, right?
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
Right. In the definition, it says a stamp and imprinted mark, because again, concerning the actual mark, which is the RFID chip, is going to be something imprinted. All right, something that's going to be physically put inside the body, an implantable device. All right, like I said, that's why I often stress a lot of these articles, man. They use the term device. All right, it's going to be something physically put inside the body. And concerning this charagma, all right, this is the mark. All right, I'm gonna read it again. It says a stamp and imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. Which there's not that that's a different topic concerning the Antichrist. But it says the mark branded upon horses, thing carved, sculpture, graven work of adulterous images. So you see that the thing carved, all right, something that's going to be physically inserted under the skin, into the body, implanted into the body, all right, and that's the charagma, all right. This is the actual mark, the RFID chip, all right. But when you go to the etymology of that word, the charagma, right, goes back to the karax.
Strong's G 5482. Charax. Charax.
The karax, all right, and it says a pale or stake or a palisade, all right. And again, like basically like the pointed tip, you know, basically like a sharp, because basically, man, all in all, man, it's talking about the instrument that's going to be used to insert the charagma, which is the RFID chip, all right, which would be, like the syringes, all right, the needles or whatever they're going to use to put into it, all right. This is what the karax is going into, all right, and but more so, how's this going to be done? Via the medical system, all right, because again, Slacky, I lost my train of thought, but again, it goes back to when you go back to let's go back to Revelations 18, all right, and looking at the characteristics of the psi or the xi, right, all right, what is it, what does it resemble? That serpent, all right. Matter of fact, let me pull it up here again. The psi or the xi, right? It looks like that serpent, that staff of Asclepius, which again, it represents the Esau's medical field, his medical system. All right, and again, that's pretty much going to be the main way. That's how they're going to usher in this mark. All right. So again, being that you got the Chi, which is the exile, the Messiah, and how everything's done in righteousness. Do away with the natural order of things, so Esau could bring his pseudoscience, his science falsely so called, right, to usher in their way of doing things, all right, and even more so they're because they push their medical system, like I mentioned, the small example that I used concerning the how Yahweh Shemashah has herbs and things of that nature to pretty much whenever you're feeling sick or whatever, you can eat certain things, and to pretty much cure the body. Oh, whatever whatever ailment you got going on. Because I always say this, man. Because often people often people tell me that that the doctor prescribed me was he said this is uncurable disease, and what that there's basically no remedy, and I'll have this forever. And I always tell people, man, listen, there's something, the Lord has something out there to cure every known disease, known and not known to man. All right, the Lord has something out there for it. All right. But again, all right, being that Esau, Edom, all right, they do away with that. They do away with the natural herbs and medicines that the Lord has set up. The Lord has set up. All right, and He has His medications and things of that nature. His pharmakia, which that word goes back to sorcery. It goes back to witchcraft, because that's what it is at the end of the day. It's all witchcraft. All right. But nevertheless, man, that's what this the psi, all right, the Chi, the psi, all right, which again represents the or it's like it looks like the the staff of Asclepius, all right, the serpent that was the serpent that was the brass serpent that I read about in Numbers 21. All right, that's but that basically, again, because that's where they get the idea, and that's pretty much the the concerning the staff of Asclepius or the rod of Asclepius. That's pretty much the that represents their whole medical system, right? And again, that's pretty much how they're going to be. That's pretty much how they're going to usher in this mark ultimately, all right. And that again, going back to this article, man, all right, because again, stuff like this, man, again, because this is all in the name of science, all right. Esau, they believe in science, all right, which, like I quoted, their science, falsely so called, man, all right. They put their trust in science, which again, it all goes back to left hand wisdom, all right, and it all goes back to witchcraft. That's what it is. That's what it all is at the end of the day, you know. But nevertheless, man, this is this is the goal and the plans of the elites, man. You know, to get everyone to pledge their allegiance to Esau, because that's what they want at the end of the day. They, like I said, they want to present themselves as the Most High. All right, being that he thinks he is the Most High. He exalts himself as the Most High. All right. And since I'm on the topic, because I wasn't gonna touch on it, but I'll go ahead and get into the stigma, right? So did the chi, the psi, and the stigma, all right? And concerning the stigma, that's very basic, very easy. I mean, when you look the word up itself, stigma, all right, going to the online etymology online, all right, the word stigma, it says mark made on skin by burning with a hot iron. And I'm gonna read on down. It says mark of a pointed instrument, puncture. So you see that? A mark of a pointed instrument, puncture. All right, because again, how are they going to issue in this mark, man? Which again, being the RFID microchip, all right, it's going to be a puncture into the under the skin, into the body. So you see, I'm gonna read on. It says tattoo brand from root of stizing to mark tattoo, and right here it says to stick, pointed. So you see, again, the charagma, which goes back to the root word charax, all right, which goes the when it talks about the what did it say, the palisade, right? Which again, that's going to be the instrument used to issue in, to actually physically get the mark. All right, it's going to be through a puncture of the skin, implantable device. All right, again, it says to stick. I believe when let me go back to that real quick. I think it said somewhere, I think it said to prick, if I'm not mistaken. Let me read it real quick. Going back to Revelation 13, and you get this word from Mark again. Go back to charagma, go back to charax. Actually, a stamp and then printed mark. All right, because slack it, because I read somewhere where it said to prick. That might have just been a definition I read somewhere else, but basically, again, I mean, it's at the end of the day. At the end of the day, man, it's the same thing. To prick, to stick, puncture. All right, this is how they're going to, usher in this mark, man. Because, like I said in the beginning, man, this all roads lead to the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. All right, this is something that's going to have to physically put inside the body, man. And again, in the name of science, all right, and through the power of their technology, this is how they're going to deceive the vast majority of the people. This is how they're going to get, majority of the people to get down, man, and get down with this whole beast system. All right, this is how they're going to deceive the mass majority of the world, man. All right, through the power of their technology, man. All right, but yeah, man. Nevertheless, going back to this article, man, because that's what inspired me to do this video, and like I said, man, Slakia, I've been trying to do this video for a while, man. And for whatever reason, man, it just didn't work out that way. So Slakia again, man, I had to, just go through this fairly quickly, but nevertheless, man, this is what it is, man. Oh, Slakia, let me get this. So yeah, let me read that one more time. All right, the stigma. All right, because again, you got the chi, which is the Xing out of the Messiah, and doing away with the natural order of things, the natural order of Yahweh Bashmel Shai and what the Lord has set up. All right, and then you got the psi. They're again, they're ushering in their way of doing things, and even more so their medical system. All right, because again, that's pretty much going to be the main way how they usher in the mark. All right, which again, going back to the charax, the charagma being the actual mark, the imprinted mark, the RFID chip, which is going to be inserted through the charax, which is the instrument used in ushering in the mark, the actual mark. All right, which go, the needles, the syringe, which that goes into the stigma part. So you got the chi, the psi, and the stigma. All right, which is the needle, the actual puncture, the actual insertion of the mark. All right. So let me just make sure I touched on. So we did the staff of Asclepius, right? All right. So again, got the Chi, which is the Xing out of the Messiah. Got the Xi, right? Which again, looks like a Slakia. If I said it represents Slakia, I just meant to say that it looks like the that serpent on the brass serpent, and then you got the stigma. All right. So you got the Chi. One more time, you got the Chi, which is Xing out of the Messiah and the natural order of doing things. Then you got the Xi, all right, which basically, the medical system. And that's going to be the main platform of how they're going to issue in this mark. And then you got the stigma, which is pretty much the actual, the puncture, as I read in the definition, the etymology, the actual puncture or inserting of the mark. All right. So again, going back to this, I'm gonna start Revelation 13, and I'm gonna start at verse 16. Revelation 13, I'm gonna start at 16, and I'm gonna read on down. It says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark." All right, the charagma. All right, which goes back to the charax. All right. It says in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, and again, what. And this is concerning this article. All right, this is just one of many articles concerning, this technology and, all these devices and things that they want to do. All right, this is just one of many articles, because again, a lot of these articles, man, they often talk about a device. All right, and it's something that they want to put inside the body. All right. But again, that's just one of many articles in many cases, verse 17, it says, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." So if you don't take this mark physically inside, if you don't have this mark, this chip physically inside your body, man, you won't be able to, you won't be a functioning member in society. All right. It's not a philosophy. It's not Christianity. It's not the so-called white women. It's not Cesare Borgia. All right. Though these things are pretty much a part of it, the beast system. All right. Because that's what it is. It's a whole system of things. It's not just, like I said, not just a picture of it. It's not going to get to a point where, you try to go into a store and, hey, do you have the mark of the beast? Oh, and then you pull out a picture of Cedric Borgia. No, it doesn't work like that. That's not what it is. All right. It's an implantable device. It's this implantable device, something that is physically going to be put inside the body. All right. I'm gonna read verse 17 again. It says, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." And it says, "Here is wisdom." So, like I said, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem El Shai, and through the teachings, starting with the apostles and elders and all the men on down of Great Millstone, man. These things have come to we got the understanding, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem El Shai. It says, "Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 606, 306, or the 666, or the Chi-xi-stigma." All right. And again, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem El Shai, man, we've been given this understanding, and I just want to say, man, if any of the brothers come across this video, man, and if I've said anything that was off or contrary to what contrary to what the doctrine is taught, please feel free to let me know, and I'll gladly go back and correct it, or whatever the case may be. If any brothers again have come across this video and I said anything that's off, just let me know, man. Please let me know, because at the end of the day, man, it's all about feeding the flock of Yahweh Shem Bashai. So again, slide that I had to go through this fairly quickly. I wanted to kind of go more in depth in it, but nevertheless, man, the spirit just didn't set it up that way, and the Wadi Yahweh Shem Bashai was able to get this video off, and hopefully it was edifying. And once again, I'm gonna give all credit to Yahweh Shem Bashai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and all the men on down. All right. And until next time, man, Lord's will, I say shalom.